Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Maximus Black.
And Novabor.
And we're bringing you guys another game sent in by the fans on d2dgamer.com. Let me hit you up with that noise. Pew!
You're just running out of new shit and you're just recycling?
Just recycle, reduce, reuse.
Over here in the bottom position of, what is this, Metalopolis?
Yep.
We're looking at Incomplexity.
Okay.
It's a pretty good name.
This looks like a custom map, too, because people talking.
Oh, I don't care.
Neither do I. And,
oh, we have BrazenPanda. This is a very... It's a special kind of panda.
Brazen.
It's brazen.
So brazen is another word for, like, bold.
Yes.
Like,
bold,
fearless, sort of.
It's a fearless panda.
It's like a panda that went from
It's a panda that doesn't take no shit from nobody.
There you go. There you go.
He doesn't eat bamboo, he eats children.
And souls. That's all I got.
I don't have anything left.
So
TBT on Metalopolis.
TBT, great.
Remember that time where TBT on Metalopolis meant tanks and Vikings?
I do remember that time.
I'm gonna hope that it doesn't end up being that. Otherwise, I'm just going to go have a nap now.
Yeah, I'm pretty tired, to be honest with you.
Still recuperating. Right now, BrazenPanda is putting up the usual up front, and I believe at the other end we're looking at very much the same thing from Incomplexity, and we are, in fact, we just saw his barracks go down. Getting some scouting from both of these gentlemen. Unfortunately, both of them went in the wrong direction.
Hating it. That always happens.
And so, at least technically, they will both get their scouting done at roughly the same time.
Yeah, so no one's really going to have the advantage on the scouting.
Not so much.
But
that's my cafe there, by the way. I just want to toss that out there. If you just go down there.
Does that actually say Adams?
Yeah, straight
awesome!
up. Straight up. You didn't know that?
I had no idea, dude.
That's my cafe.
Sweet.
Hit me up with that collab, Blizzard.
Adams Cafe?
Adams Cafe.
Nice.
Finest coffee and... shit.
His cafe, you get a happy ending.
Always.
Always a happy ending at Adams Cafe.
Absolutely.
There's a BJ's over here, isn't there?
A BJ's Clam Shack, in fact. It's over here on the top left base, right here. BJ's Clam Shack. Hit me up with that collab.
What's better than a good old Clam Shack?
With BJ's.
Yes. Is that another Adams Cafe?
Yeah.
Two of them.
I'm on every corner.
Franchising.
It's like Tim Hortons.
Nice.
Or
Starbucks if you're from...
or if you're in the States.
Yeah, actually we have Starbucks now.
We do.
We have a bunch of them. They're starting to grow.
They're starting to go and take over, although I don't think
they'll never take over Tim Hortons.
It would be something special.
Yes.
If they did, because there's literally a Tim Hortons on every corner.
But back to the game.
Starcraft!
Yes, Starcraft, come on,
Look, there's
guys.
a factory!
Yep, factory going down, and another factory going down this way as well. Orbital Command finally going for Incomplexity. And I don't know if he's going to be using this for some OP mules. That's right, I said mules.
You mean you said OP?
Yeah, I said OP. Whatever. It's getting late.
It is getting late. Definitely getting late.
People get upset when I call Terran OP. It's a half joke.
It is.
It is. I actually, I'm a firm believer now that the game is actually fairly balanced, except for Banshees. I still honestly feel as though that is the only unit that is really, for the amount of time that you can get them and the amount of damage that they can do.
That's been, yeah.
Yeah.
I've thought the same thing for a while. I actually saw a Reddit thread where it was a dude who lives in Korea, plays Starcraft quite avidly, knows some pro players over there, was doing an Ask Me Anything, and somebody asked him if the Korean players or the Korean public that watch it think that the game is balanced yet, and they actually think Terran's OP.
Yeah, no, well, I was trying to say that I don't think they are without saying I don't think they are. But
well,
I personally think they're a little...
It's not very much.
It's very, very slight.
And it's only at really top level play.
I thought Zerg was at one point, then they nerfed them to hell. I think that Protoss is borderline late game.
It's
very
close.
Extremely hard to take care of.
Yeah.
They make even Terran look stupid. But I think for Terran from start to finish, pretty. But anyways, that's
there's a Thor coming.
Wow.
There's a Thor coming up for Incomplexity right now. That is pretty quick. I don't know if it's going to be... It doesn't look... Well, it's not going to be a drop or anything. He's just going for very, very fast Thor. I'm not exactly sure why he's going for fast Thor. He hasn't really seen anything that would give him the idea that it's that's great. Although, to be honest, Thor are pretty damn good against everything.
Absolutely. They're very, very strong. One thing that I do like about this build here is a couple of supply depots just kind of peppering those around the corners to make sure that there's no drops coming. They are in very, very close position, so a Hellion Harass or even some Marine and Marauder drops on the mineral lines are very, very wide open.
Yeah, drops in these positions, especially with 2 Terrans on the map, are far more likely than a rush up the ramp. But we are seeing a bit of a push out here right now from BrazenPanda. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually saw him set up shop and kind of just try and contain. That is basically a very standard kind of go-to kind of deal for Terran players, even when you're against another Terran. Yep. Sometimes it's even a race for that kind of contain, and you'll even see, and that's where the tank Viking thing comes in, because eventually it gets to the point where they both have one point in the map, and then it just becomes this giant back and forth battle. But it'll be very interesting seeing a bunch of Thors on the map, because that means at least, thankfully, we're not going to see that kind of play. At least, you know, maybe we would further down the road, but right now, I don't know. I don't even know who would really have the advantage in a fight. I guess it depends on if they bring SCVs up to do some repairing.
Yeah, no. Right now, I got my money on Incomplexity. Just because of these Thors are just
both supply blocked at 51.
So deadly, yeah, and another Thor going down, a couple of supply depots going, but one thing though, BrazenPanda is doing is getting a little brazen, and he's going and getting
a command.
Yeah. He's getting a command center, a natural expansion, so slowly the tides are starting to turn. Unless Incomplexity chucks down a command center in his base and gets ready to do an expansion, he is going to be behind it.
He's going really heavy on this one base right now, especially for having Thors as a main attacking unit.
Yeah, he's got a lot of buildings. He's got now 2 factories, 2 barracks. He's got 3 Thors, and he's upgrading all at the same time off this one base. He does have a fully saturated main, but he is not worried about getting that expansion. And here we go.
Here's that contain that we were talking about just a little bit earlier, and right now you're probably just going to see a lot of a Marine sent down over time. Added a couple of tanks. Sometimes you see some turrets, but this is very risky.
This is risky for Brazen.
Not a lot of units there. I don't think he had enough.
It's not enough, and he's showing his cards right now. He's basically what I like to call inducing an attack. He's making Incomplexity.
You like to call that inducing an attack?
Yeah.
What about inducing labor?
Labor? Yeah, sure. But there you go. Boom, 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 death. What?
I thought it was sounded like boom, boom.
Boom, boom,
like the end of it. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, so you know, and I like to say this a lot of the time is players, they will attack when they necessarily don't need to attack. Just sufficient amount of scouting, some scans down there to know that he doesn't have a natural out will give you the green light to go ahead and get your natural nice and saturated, build your units up, get some more, you know, just get more of a macro game going. You know you're in the lead. Why go down there with half of your units and make him go, oh shit, he's got some units out there. Wait, I got 4 Thor. How about I go screw that over and then make him feel good about himself and then make him come in and do a counterattack when necessarily he wouldn't have done that.
All about boosting your opponent's confidence, most definitely.
No, he definitely did.
No, yeah, no, and it does, because you get down there and when you roll somebody like that,
oh, it feels damn good.
Even when you're not, even sometimes when you're not prepared for an attack, you'll still try and do the attack anyway. And right now we're seeing that he is in fact doing that. He has gotten supply block. There's a drop down here. We missed. Sorry about missed that supply that drop, but right now I was wondering why you get supply block. All these Marines down here and a couple of Marauders one Marauder doing lots of damage.
Oh,
and we're just going for a bit of a base trade, but he's going to get ramp raped if he's not careful. We got a tank over there on the right hand side.
Whoa, do not pick those up when all those guys are
there. And he's okay. That was very close.
Wow.
Getting rid of a couple of those Thors. Another one is going to go down, bringing out the SCVs to get some damage done. Another Thor coming out down below for Incomplexity, but he's still supply blocked, not able to bring in any more reinforcements, and these Thors are going to survive this. More SCVs coming up the ramp. Not what you want to do. You're not going to be able to do anything against that.
Not a good place to be against those Thors right now.
And Incomplexity is actually repairing. He still has SCVs in there right now, and those Marauders are slowly trying to pick off those SCVs, not being able to do anything. And back at base, Incomplexity is back into the green when it comes to his food count. 35 for 35. He's going to be able to start building some units very soon, and we are back to null.
Look at this OP repair right now. Terran is even OP against Terran. That's how serious they are. But BrazenPanda holding off that massive attack. He took serious damage. All SCVs gone, but he's still fully saturated.
Oh,
here.
Huge. All of his food is, in fact, with those SCVs right now. 28 to 8.
That is huge.
That is a GG scenario, essentially. Unless he does some horrible macro, there is no reason why Incomplexity shouldn't take this match very, very quickly. Mule's coming out for Brazen, but of course
he's doing the smart thing right now. He is not waiting.
Pressure.
Yeah, no, he knows he's in trouble. He barely has any SCVs right now. He does not want to hold off. He needs to go and do some damage. He was in the base. He did a little bit of damage himself, did quite a bit of damage. He knows that Incomplexity is hurting, and he's going to come in here and do some serious damage. Still got some medevacs, one at the brink of death.
Incomplexity, GG's. Well, he just knew straight up that that was going to be it, and you know what? It was, and so good on BrazenPanda for recognizing. You know, sometimes it's hard to make that decision, especially when you've been in the other guy's base and you're doing lots of damage and you know you're basically neck and neck. Sometimes you aren't sure and you let it go, and it can drag the game on, or sometimes it can even lose you the game.
Absolutely.
And what we saw right there is BrazenPanda getting a little bit brazen himself, as we've said before, hopping up in those dropships, bringing in a few units to apply pressure, just so happened to be enough to wrap up the game.
No, I like exactly what you said there, Adam. You nailed it. A lot of players, when they get that big attack, they hold off a massive attack, and even though he only had, 6-7 units, he went and countered.
Yep.
And like you just said, a lot of the time, the lower level players, and I've even seen some pros do this.
Yep.
They get in that defensive mode automatically. They're like, oh crap, I need to get my SCVs up. I need to just hold off.
Yep.
And little do they know is actually their enemies thinking the same thing. Oh shit. Let's hope he doesn't attack me.
And
I need a couple minutes.
The game.
Basically, you're starting from scratch again. And Brazen is very, very lucky that he attacked, because a 30 to 14 SCV count, and at the time was 28 to 8. He did not want to wait another 5-10 minutes, because I don't care. It would not have been good. But anyways, decent back and forth game. A little bit of action. A better TVT.
Definitely. As long as it's not Tanks and Vikings, I am on board. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another cast brought to you by LAGTV. I am Nova War.
And I'm Maximus Black.
Peace.
Peace out.